Thank you for watching another Morristown Matters video. We are at the Rose Center, and today they have a meet and greet for the Hamblen County local elections. You see all the signs out here. So it's April the 12th, 2022. It's just about 5 o'clock. So let's go ahead and head on inside, see what kind of a welcome we get. We're looking to talk to the candidates and see how it goes.
Well, my name is Dr. Tony Mixa. Some of you know me. I see some familiar faces in the room. I see some new faces in the room. I'm, of course, president of Walter State, but also the chair of the chamber this year. It's when we're able to go out and do voting. So again, this is wonderful that everybody's here. I do know, if I'm not mistaken, that early voting will begin tomorrow. So if you have the opportunity to get out and early vote, please do that. I believe it goes through May 3rd, April 28th, and then the actual vote is May 3rd, right? I almost got that off. We were working through those numbers there a little bit. So we're excited about that, and it's great that you're here. It's also great, and I see some young people here as well, too. So it's wonderful to have young people here to talk about voting. I know when my son turned 18 and was able to vote, he was on my case to learn and go out there and vote, so it's excellent. All right, so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to have some candidates come up and speak. Deborah is going to introduce those candidates. Just a couple things to keep in mind. Don't hold the microphone too close to your mouth because it will really reflect bad. There is a backup microphone here. You will be recorded. It's a 2-minute time limit to speak, so we'll try to keep you to that as best we can. And so with that, again, thank you very much for being here. On behalf of the chamber, I appreciate you being here. And now I'll hand it over to Deborah Williams. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Deborah Williams. I'm the general manager at the Chamber of Commerce. And those of you who have been to some of these events before know that I have this great antique buzzer system with lights, and it tells you when you're about to time out. Then I push this really obnoxious buzzer. Well, I didn't bring that today because I have great confidence that the 3 candidates for mayor and the 3 candidates for sheriff who are going to speak to you are going to stay within their time limits and be great and obedient public servants. So we're going to do the old-fashioned way of doing this. We are going to go in alphabetical order. We're going to ask our sheriff's candidates to speak first. And the first candidate, alphabetically and fairly, we're going to invite Dwayne Collins to come to the microphone. You have 2 minutes.
2 minutes. What if I can't count?
Then I'll yell.
That's when you go yelling. Good evening. My name is Dwayne Collins, and I'm one of your candidates for Hamblen County Sheriff. When I got in this race last November, there was 2 things that was a priority to me, just from the concern of what I had picked up on in the community, and that is substance abuse and recidivism in our jail, to include hiring of quality employees and employee retention. I would ask you with the time frame I have, the Citizen Tribune has printed that today. So pick you up a Citizen Tribune, and that is well detailed as to what my platform is on those 2 things. One of the things that I am going to bring to the sheriff's department is transparency and accountability. Annually, I am going to provide this community through the agency's social media to include newspaper and radio from top to bottom. You will know everything inside of that agency. I'm going to open this agency up to this community and let you see how I, as a leader of this sheriff's department, am going to operate as the next sheriff of Hamblen County. I am also going to start something as a pilot program because in my past experience, the community is what we build on in law enforcement. And I want to establish, and I'll start out with a pilot program, and I'm going to call this the Hamblen County Community Relations Unit. This is a unit that's going to go out into our community and establish a relationship with our church groups and our civic groups, and they're going to be specialized. They're going to provide training and sharing of information. This is vital to this relationship that we need with our community and our law enforcement. Whether it's law enforcement organization or a county jail or a police department, at the end of the day, it's a people service business. As elected as your next sheriff, I'm going to run this Hamblen County Sheriff's Office just like it's a people service business. My extensive experience at the local and state level in law enforcement, to include my education and a bachelor's in business administration and a bachelor's in organizational management, qualifies me to be your next sheriff. And I appreciate your vote tomorrow, April 13th, and on May the 3rd, primary. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwayne. The next candidate to speak will be Todd Davidson.
Thank you. Good evening, I'm Todd Davidson, candidate for Hamblen County Sheriff. I'm not going to tell you what I've done in the past. I'm going to make 5 quick points and then I'll get out of the way and let the other candidates come forward. If elected to serve as sheriff in Hamblen County, point number 1 for me is this. I am qualified and experienced, by the way. 31 and a half years of law enforcement experience right here in this community. I am accountable, and I'll hold everybody at the Sheriff's Department accountable from the top down. Number 2 is we have a team of teams plan in place, and what that consists of is we'll use outside resources to help us combat problems in your community. Obviously, the Sheriff's Department from time to time is short on manpower, but these resources are readily available. They're a phone call away, and they don't cost the taxpayers no money. Number 3, we will implement a recruiting program, and we'll use good qualified people inside the Sheriff's Department to be a part of this program, and we will go out in the community and we'll seek these people out. We can't continue to just sit idle and wait for people to come and apply for jobs. We have to go out and find these people, and there's good qualified candidates right here in this community that can do the job, but we want to go seek them out. Number 4, top to bottom review of every position inside that agency, starting at the sheriff's position. And the reason we do that, no, not to get rid of anybody. We want to retain these employees, but we want to make sure that you, as a community, are getting your money's worth, so to speak. We do that review and make sure that we've allocated resources where they need to be allocated. We don't need 10 people doing a 2-man job or 2 people doing a 10-man job. So we want to, that's something important that I want to look at and make sure that we're providing you the best service possible as the Sheriff's Department. Number 5, there'll be a transition team in place, and it will consist of people inside the Sheriff's Department and outside the Sheriff's Department. That will do multiple things. One thing it will do, if I'm elected sheriff, those people inside that agency can help me make decisions with officers and where people need to be and things like that. This transition team will help target best practices for our jail, people that's already working inside the organization, people that's already working in the jail, and we'll look to other agencies for advice on that. Now, lastly, what this will do for me is I'll use people inside the Sheriff's Department, people outside the Sheriff's Department to help me in a selection process to find the best candidate to fill the Chief Deputy position. The Chief Deputy will come from the Hamblen County Sheriff's Department. There's good qualified candidates in that organization that can do the job, and I want to give them a fair opportunity to help me, to help the Sheriff's Department make this the best community possible for us to live in and raise our families. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. And the next candidate for sheriff is Chad Mullins.
Thank you. My name is Chad Mullins, and I'm a candidate for Hamblen County Sheriff. I want to tell you about my experience with the Sheriff's Department. I've dedicated my whole career, 26 years, to the Hamblen County Sheriff's Office. I started working in the jail, promoted from the jail to patrol, took on the duties of K9 as a patrolman, went through the ranks of patrol, went to work narcotics and vice unit, prosecuting people in state and federal courts. To my current position now is operations captain. Through my career, I've become a firearms instructor, driving instructor, member of the meth task force, and on the honor guard team for Hamblen County Sheriff's Office. In the last 26 years, I've made many contacts with other local and state and federal authorities that I think is important. If something happens, I can get these guys in here for help. In 2019, I was promoted to my current position as operations captain over all law enforcement activities at the Sheriff's Department. I assist and aid the current sheriff with the Sheriff's Department's budget, prepare it to get it to the county commission and county mayor's office. I'm also a member of the first felony Hamblen County Recovery Court team, and that's something I'm passionate about. That's something that if elected sheriff, I will continue to serve on this team as for the recovery court. I'd like to have more programs such as that, a jail to work program. I would like to have more of our non-violent misdemeanor inmates out picking up trash, putting them up, doing something. I am dedicated to being a hands-on working sheriff. I'll be out there with the guys and girls. I am dedicated to provide a well-trained professional sheriff's department. Only candidate that's ever worked for the sheriff's department or served the sheriff's department. My experience has prepared me to be your next sheriff. Let my experience work for you. I appreciate your vote and support. Thank you.